Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a kind of halfway season review of the Scottish Premiership so far. So it's not just a kind of Celtic related video today. This video is more including everyone from Scotland who supports a Scottish Premiership side. Today I'm going to be giving my kind of views of the first, sort of 6 months of the season. As we now head into the winter break, we're kind of at a halfway point. I feel like it's a perfect time to do this. I'm just going to give my opinion on where every team kind of lies at this point and kind of compare it to my expectations and my predictions from what I gave at the start of the season. Now, at the end of the season, I will do my full reaction to my league table and how it finished in real life compared to my actual predictions. Right now, I'm going to compare the teams, how they're doing as we currently sit here in January, 6 months into the season. I'm going to react to how they are placed right now and how I think they will finish off the season and give my kind of insight into how I think they'll do in the next 6 months, kind of judged of how they done in the first 6 months. So I've got to kind of fire through 12 teams, so a lot of teams there will be a kind of more a bit of discussion about, and some will just be kind of tiny little, here, they're done alright, blah blah, I think they'll finish here, that kind of thing. So if you do enjoy the video, make sure you hit like and subscribe and such. We're going to try and fire through all the teams from 12th to 1st, and just talk about the first 6 months of the season. So where we're starting at number 12. So in January, heading into this winter break sort of thing, sitting 12th in the table, Ross County. They've had a very kind of strange opening to the season where they managed to actually get a new manager, a manager who I never expected to actually see come to the league right now, especially to Ross County. And that's not me going out there and taking a dig at Ross County, but Owen Coyle is a manager who spent, quite a few years in the Premier League managing teams such as Burnley, Bolton, etc. And he was always linked with the Celtic job. Every time there was an opening, when Tony Mowbray was given the job, when Neil Lennon was given the job, when Ronnie Dyler was given the job, and even when Brendan Rodgers was given the Celtic job, all 4 of those times, I remember Owen Coyle being linked with the Celtic job. So Ross County have done phenomenal to manage to get themselves a manager of that calibre for a club that is under their kind of financial restraint and sort of, reputation restraint. They're not the biggest team in the country by no means. One of the smaller clubs in the Scottish Premiership, they're from Dingwall, not a big city or anything like that. So not a lot of finances, not a lot of reputation to them. Ross County managing to get rid of Jim McIntyre after a poor start, bring in Owen Coyle, who has to some extent steadied what was a sinking ship. They did not start the season well, obviously still sitting in 12th, not the position you want to be, but I'd imagine with Jim McIntyre, if he was still in charge, they would be in a lot worse of a position right now, sitting a lot further behind. They're not too far, I think they're like 2 points behind 11th place, and under Owen Coyle, I don't think they will go down. They're sitting 12th as we currently talk in this video at this minute. At the start of the season, I predicted they would finish 9th, and I still think, and you'll see the lighting did change there. Yes, I'm having to click back and forth between the league table and my predictions. But I think Ross County will stay up. I think Owen Coyle is the kind of manager who will keep them up. Someone who I personally wouldn't take at Celtic, but I think he will keep them up. And I'm going to stick with 9th. I think Ross County will still finish 9th this season. It's a very close bottom 6. It always is a close bottom 6 till, that last couple of weeks of the season. But I don't see them going down. They very easily could, but I just don't see it happening. So I'm going to see Ross County still at 9th, but quite a dodgy opening 6 months for them, but a strong manager was appointed, and I think the fans can be happy with that. So sitting 11th at the current minute is Partick Thistle, one that really has taken me by surprise. I did not think they would start their season so poorly after having quite a fantastic season for a club of, once again, not the biggest size. They're the kind of third team shadowed by Celtic and Rangers in Glasgow, and last season they managed to guide themselves to a top 6 finish. Alan Archibald working wonders to get them into the top half and finishing in the upper half of the split, of course. But this season has gone all wrong. It seems to be going backwards, and they've not had a good start at all. No consistency for them, and they have indeed struggled to get off the mark, sitting 11th in the table. They have stuck though with Alan Archibald. Could have been very easy to sack him and get another manager in, as that's a lot of the times the teams like to go down that route. A lot of the time, start poor, get rid of you. But Alan Archibald, he's been with Partick Thistle for quite a number of years now, and they are paying him back with the loyalty he has shown to Partick Thistle, with being loyal to him, and I really do respect that. I don't know how the fans quite feel. Something I don't hear a lot is Partick Thistle fans saying Archibald in or Archibald out, because I don't follow, Partick Thistle fans a lot on Twitter and such, so I don't get much of an opinion. Partick Thistle fans What is your thoughts on Alan Archibald? I mean, that's what I'd like to know. Comment if you are a Partick Thistle fan. But they are sitting 11th. I think they're going to stay in 11th place. I mean, they are a team who I think are capable with him in charge. Considering he's been there so long, he knows the team who are capable of pulling it back a little bit and going higher in the table, 7th, 8th maybe. But I feel like they've just struggled for consistency. They have struggled to be as you know, as strong as they can be, and I don't see it picking up too greatly for them. Here and there I think they'll get a good result, but I'm going to stick with 11th, which is a big drop because at the start of the season I predicted 7th for Partick Thistle. I thought they would just miss out in the top half, so things have really changed in the 6 months. My kind of prediction for Partick Thistle, I'm going to stay with 11th for Partick. 10th at the minute is Dundee. And I'm going to predict for them to finish the season. I predicted them to finish 11th, so they're sitting out along those type of those lines. I did say Neil McCann at the start of the season was not the right man to give the job. I feel like that was a downgrade from Paul Hartley, if anything. I don't think Neil McCann was the right man to give due to the lack of experience and such he has. He's a pundit at the end of the day, and I didn't think he was going to be a great manager for them to continue going on with, and they decided ultimately to go on with him, and it's not paying off massively. They are currently sitting 10th. I predicted 11th. I'm going to predict 12th. I think they are going to be the team who finishes rock bottom of the table. I just think they're right now the poorest performance side in the league when I watched them against, you know, Celtic. It just seems like that, I'm not going to lie. And I just don't think Neil McCann's the type of man who's going to be able to compete against, you know, highly competitive Owen Coyles, Alan Archibald, Steve Clarks. I feel like he's going to be left to go down. I think Dundee United will go down, and there's a high chance Dundee United could come up. I'm going to predict them to finish 12th, down from 11th in my predictions. Currently 9th is Hamilton, and I'm going to predict that they will finish 9th. An impressive opening 6 months for Hamilton, I would say, in you know, kind of comparison to what I expected from them. I expected them to be by far the worst team in the league. I thought they were the weakest team in the league. I thought they were just overall, you know, the poorest team side in the league. I thought they were going to be really struggling to stay above 12th and 11th place. 9th obviously isn't a massive upgrade from that, and there's not a lot of points in it. But they have been a lot better than what I originally expected. And I think they're going to manage to stay up. Martin Cannon seems to be getting things together quite well down there. So not much to say on Hamilton. The side I can't say a lot about, but they're sitting 9th for the minute, and I think they will finish the season on 9th. Sitting at 8th is Motherwell, who I did predict to be 10th. I predicted quite a lower finish for them. They got rid of Mark McGee, of course, to start the season, and brought in Stephen Robinson, a man who I didn't know a lot about. They made a lot of changes to the side, bringing in a lot of new players. Keith Lasley also joined the coaching team and such. So they lost a few players, they brought in a few players. I just didn't think it was going to work for them this season. And they opened the season very well. Very, very well. And up until that kind of week where they played Celtic 3 times in the 1 week and such, they were having a fantastic season. But ever since, it's been kind of slow. It's slowed down a lot. They have not been as good as they probably would wish to be. Which is disappointing. They've obviously lost Louis Moult as well, who was their star player, the man who got them the goals, the man who was really the player of the club who brought the success to them. I would say he was the most impressive there, without a shadow of a doubt. He's off to Preston, and I feel like it's going to be a struggle for the next 6 months to get used to life without him. And they need to get themselves back into a little bit of form. They've lost it since they played Celtic, I would say. So they are currently sitting 8th. It's 8th, it's 8th, and I think they're going to finish 8th. I don't see much movement for them, because at 7th place, I'm going to give it to Kilmarnock, who I predicted to finish 8th at the start of the season. They were still with Lee McCulloch, but they have changed drastically, once again doing the same as sort of Ross County, bringing in a manager who I would not have expected to go to Kilmarnock, Stevie Clark, another man who was linked with the Celtic job in the past. He came in and has done a phenomenal job at Kilmarnock. He's took points off Celtic, he's took points off Rangers, he's been doing quite the job, took points off Hibs, I think he's took points off Aberdeen as well. He's been doing phenomenal at his start at Kilmarnock, and really a team who were relegation candidates for the past few seasons look like a stronger side, and look like they have the capability to, you know, even push to compete for a kind of 6th place spot in the league. I think they'll finish 7th. I predicted 8th. And they're currently sitting 7th. So Stevie Clark is really building something there. He's brought in a player like Joseph Malumbu, who once again, wouldn't have seen him going to Kilmarnock. He's not obviously going to take the world by storm, set it alight or anything, but for a team like Kilmarnock, nothing but an impressive signing. And I think more to come maybe from Stevie Clark and those sorts of things with limited money. Maybe bringing in more signings like that though can do a lot for Kilmarnock, but I'm going to stick with 7th. So that's Kilmarnock 7th, Motherwell 8th, I think it'll finish. Yes, the shirt has changed. It's another day. I decided to film this over 2 days, I know. But I did realise yesterday that I made a mistake with talking about Kilmarnock. I was saying that they were currently sitting 7th in the table. They're not. It's St Johnstone that is sitting 7th in the table, and Kilmarnock are actually sitting 6th. So I keep everything that I said about Kilmarnock. I still think that they're going to finish where I said they would. And we're now going to talk about St Johnstone. Now, St Johnstone I predicted to finish 5th at the start of the season, and right now they are sitting 7th in the table. Not the best of starts, I suppose. It still is a very close table. Not a lot separates teams at the minute, but I did think St Johnstone would be a little higher up in the table, but they have had some decent results this season. There was always also a lot of talk of the manager end up leaving them, so there was a little bit of uncertainty there for their season, a little bit of unsettlement for the squad, I'd imagine. Obviously Tommy Wright could have easily went and took the Rangers job if he was offered in the first place, but there was a lot of talk of him getting that job along with the likes of Derek McInnes, so a little bit of unsettlement I would suppose, but that's not too bad, not drastically bad. They are in the bottom half, but I do expect them probably to go back up into the top half. I do think they will eventually overtake Kilmarnock. They've still got good players at their club, and I still think they are a better team than Kilmarnock. Stevie Clark obviously doing very well, but I think Tommy Wright will pull it together and get himself into the top half again and try and push to get to those European kind of spots for Europa League football. So I did predict 5th, but I'm going to actually put 6th. I think they will slip down the table, and there we go, St Johnstone I think will finish 6th. Right, on to the team that is currently sitting 5th in the Premiership table, and that is Hearts, who have really surprised me recently. They are doing pretty well under Craig Levein. Obviously started the season with a lot of uncertainty. They got rid of Ian Cathro before the Premiership season even started, after a horrific Betfred Cup group stage run. They were knocked out in the group stage, which was quite embarrassing for Hearts, and they ended up bringing Craig Levein eventually as their manager, which to me was a horrific appointment. I didn't think it was going to do them any good. He doesn't play that exciting football, but to be honest, it's benefited Hearts. Defensively, they have been really strong, proving that with having, I think, I'm sure, the best defensive record in the league. And we saw what they've done to Celtic. First team domestically since the appointment of Brendan Rodgers to beat Celtic. They've done it quite convincingly. They've got a team which is really balanced with good experience and a good amount of youth. Players like Harry Cochrane on one end of the spectrum, and then players like Christophe Berra at the other end. Berra has been one of the players of the season, hands down, so far, and really bringing a lot of security to that back line of Hearts, and a lot of security for Craig Levein's side. And yes, they might not play exciting football. Yes, they might have players like Kyle Lafferty who, you know, look to be the sort of player kick the body from the back line and try and get a goal. But you know what? They're doing not too bad. Hearts sitting 5th at the minute. I did predict 6th for them, but I'm going to give them 5th. I think they're going to stay in 5th. A solid 5th place finish for them, I think, will happen. And not too bad for Hearts under Craig Levein, I must admit. The team who currently sit 4th are Hibs, a team who I was very tempted to give 3rd in the first video that I made this season, and my pre-season, my predictions before the season started, which was a decision that ultimately riled up a lot of Rangers fans. And honestly, I still could sit here and say I still think Hibs can finish 3rd. Being realistic though, will they stay in that 4th sort of position? Yes, they're currently 5 points clear of their rivals Hearts, but Neil Lennon is a manager who is, bar Brendan Rodgers, the strongest in the league, I would say. I mean, he's got the medals to prove it, and he's got a good team under him, and he's only going to improve, I think, the chemistry of the side. You know, there's a lot of talk about, you know, John McGinn leaving to go to Celtic, but I think he's going to manage to keep on to McGinn to the end of the season. Honestly, I don't see why not. They could. I think they could finish 3rd. Consistency is what really they struggle with. A lot of games that they don't look as though they should be winning. Aberdeen, Rangers, Celtic, they end up getting very positive results. Not so much Aberdeen, they got pumped off Aberdeen, I remember. But, you know, the games such as Hamilton have dropped to a lot of points, and games they should be winning. You know, one week they're sitting holding off Celtic, looking as though they could very easily beat us, to losing to whoever next week, a team from the bottom end of the table. So consistency is what really Hibs are struggling with, but if they can pick up that consistency, I have no doubt in my mind they can go and challenge for even 2nd place in the table. They could very easily finish 3rd if, you know, Rangers don't, you know, if they don't manage to hold on to some decent form as well. Hibs could very easily overtake Rangers and finish 3rd in the table. But Neil Lennon has got a good group of players. 8 draws this season, though. They have to cut those stupid draws out. But will they finish 3rd? I think they can. but I'm going to stick with a 4th place prediction because at the end of the day I'm going to be realistic with it. But I would not be surprised if Hibs managed to overtake Rangers or Aberdeen. Currently 3rd place, Rangers. Horrific season, you could say, in some aspects. It was always going to be with Pedro Caixinha in charge, and they currently sit 3rd, only 3 points behind Aberdeen, so things don't look too bad, I'd imagine. They are still, 11 points behind Celtic, and at this point this season, I'm sure they're better off than what they were at this point last season. But the managerial, the behind-the-scenes stuff for Rangers, even Rangers fans can't deny it has been a horror show of a season for them. On the park, I'd imagine they're actually not too bothered. It's got better from last season, arguably. But it's just, the whole managerial situation, the McInnes saga, the talk about going back into administration is out. It's a horror show behind the scenes for Rangers. And I can only imagine that it's not going to get much better. Murray has been given the job to the end of the season, of course. A man who I really don't know what to gather opinions on. He's held Celtic to draws at Celtic Park twice, which looks good. But then he goes and loses these games against, sides like Dundee and stuff like that. He loses stupid games, but he wins big ones for Rangers. And it's a lot of Neil Lennon kind of stuff there you're talking. So Graham Murray has to get the show back on for Rangers fans. I'd imagine it's a very big push now for the last 6 months to try and get as close to us as possible at the top of the table. But ultimately, they're not going to win the league. So 2nd place is really what Graham Murray will be pushing for. But ultimately, I don't think he will. I just think Rangers are too inconsistent. They've yet not got the quality in the park. And these financial problems and managerial problems, coaching problems, they're not going to help the team whatsoever, and I just think they're going to stick to sitting 3rd in the table, which will now lead me on to Aberdeen. Derek McInnes obviously staying with the Dons, doing very well at them as usual, as he has been for the past 5 years. Doing a phenomenal job. He's got a strong team. He's looking on as well, keep a hold of Ryan Christie, who is a vital player to them. And really, they're the best team in the league, bar Celtic, right now, pretty much. But Hibs and Rangers very much could give them a challenge. Not much to say about Aberdeen, really, because it's been same story for the past 5 seasons for them, sitting at 2nd place, be the 2nd best team in the country. And really, I just don't see Rangers overtaking them. So I'm going to stick with 2nd for Aberdeen and stick with 3rd for Rangers. Which leaves me to the top of the table. Quite obviously, it was always going to be us. It was always going to be Celtic at the top of the table this point of the season. Our season hasn't been as good as 2016-17. It was never going to be. Expectations were high going into the season. There was no doubt about that. We had a fantastic, once-in-a-lifetime experience last year with that invincible treble-winning season. And I believe the expectations have been high. Performances haven't been as good. We've drawn so much. We've lost our first game. It has been negative at points. It seems the performances in the park have been lacklustre at points. They have seemed dry. It seems like they've been passionless. So it has been a bit of a dodgy season. But at the end of the day, we're still 8 points clear of Aberdeen. We've won a cup. We're still in the other cup. Well, we've not even started the other cup. And we're in European football after Christmas. This season for Celtic has been as good as last year. Improving on a European level has been important, and we have ever so slightly. And that's what to take away. The next 6 months of the season is going to be a lot about refreshing and getting that sort of energy back into the team and just going really, hopefully, to secure a treble, hopefully to go as far in European football as we can, and hopefully we'll do so. But nothing's going to change at the top. Celtic will win the league this season. And that's just plain and simple facts. So there we go. That's basically it. That is my season review so far. So far, I think it's been a very exciting Scottish Premiership season. Honestly, it's good to see teams like Hibs back because they had a lot more. And I just think overall I've been really enjoying this season. Any game that I've had the opportunity to watch, I've enjoyed, no matter if Celtic's playing in it or not. Scottish football is building itself a little bit further and better than what it has been for the past 10 sort of years. Since really the Gordon Stratton era of Celtic, really. That was the last time I remember Scottish football being as exciting as you want it to be. I feel like it is slowly building itself back to being at that point. Managers like Stephen Clarke and Owen Coyle, you would never have pictured them coming to teams like Kilmarnock and Ross County last season. So slowly and steadily the game is building up here, and this season I have thoroughly enjoyed. It has been entertaining, it has been surprising at points. So good season. I'm looking forward to the second 6 months. So if you have enjoyed the video, make sure to hit like and subscribe. Let me know your opinions of the season so far in the comments below, and I'll see you all next time.